أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, welcome to JemeilTv. We are here to take an overview of Surah number 106 Al-Quraysh, meaning the tribe of Quraysh. Let us start with its introduction. There are four ayat in this surah and it is 106 surah in the compilation of Holy Quran. It reminded the people of Makkah that it was Allah who gave them honor and prestige among other tribes due to his house, the Kaaba. So why not worship him and obey his command? It is similarly a reminder to others to worship Allah who provides everything. How Surah got its name? The Surah takes its name from the first ayat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم لإيلاف قريش, for the accustomed security of the Quraysh. Connection of the surah to the surah before or after it. Surah Al-Fil 105 and Surah Al-Quraysh 106. The incident of the elephant was related to what happened to the tribe of the Quraysh, and the following surah is also about the Quraysh period of revelation. Although Dahak and Kalbi regard it as a Madani surah, yet a great majority of the commentators are agreed that it is Makki, and a manifest evidence of this are the words Rabba Hadal Bayt, Lord of his house, of this surah itself. Had it been revealed at Medina, the words this house for the Kaaba could not be relevant. Moreover, its subject matter so closely relates to that of Surah Al-Fil that probably it was revealed immediately after it, without any other surah intervening between them. On the basis of this very relevance, some of the earliest scholars regard the two surahs as one entity. This view is strengthened by the traditions which say that in the Quran, copy belonging to Hazrat Ubay bin Ka'b, these two were written as one surah, that is, without the insertion of the Bismillah between them. Furthermore, Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu had once recited the two surah as one in the prayer, but this view is not acceptable because in the Quran copy which Hazrat Usman radiallahu anhu had got written down officially by the cooperation of a large number of the companions and sent to the centers of Islamic lands, the Bismillah was written between these two surahs, and since then these two have been written as a separate surahs in all the copies of the Quran everywhere in the world. Moreover, the style of the two surah is so different that they manifestly appear as two separate surahs. Historical background. To understand the surah well, it is essential that one should keep the historical background relevant to the contents of the surah and of Surah Al-Fil in view. The tribe of Quraysh was scattered throughout Hijaz until the time of Qusay bin Kalb, the ancestor of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. First of all, Qusay gathered it in Mecca, and this tribe was able to gain authority over the Kaaba. On that very basis, Qusay was called Mujammi, uniter, assembler, by his people. This man, by his sagacity and wisdom, founded a city-state in Mecca and made excellent arrangements for the welfare of the pilgrimage coming from all over Arabia, with the result that the Quraysh were able to gain great influence among the Arabian tribes and lands. After Qusay, the offices of the state of Mecca were divided between his son Abdi Manaf and Abd ad-Dar, but of the two, Abdi Manaf gained greater fame even during his father's lifetime and was held in high esteem throughout Arabia. Abdi Manaf had four sons, Hashim, Abdi Shams, Al-Muttalib, and Al-Nawfal. Of these, Hashim, father of Abdul Muttalib and grandfather of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, first conceived the idea to take part in the trade that passed between the eastern countries and Syria and Egypt through Arabia, and also to purchase the necessities of life for the Arabians, so that the tribes living by the trade route bought these from them, and the merchants living in the interior of the country were attracted to the market of Mecca. This was the time when the Sasanian kingdom of Iran had captured the international trade that was carried out between the northern lands and the eastern country and Byzantine Empire through the Persian Gulf. This had boosted up the trade activity on the trade route leading from southern Arabia to Syria and Egypt along the Red Sea coast. As against the other Arabian caravans, the Quraysh had the advantage that the tribes on the route held them in high esteem on account of their being keepers of the Kaaba. They stood indebted to them for the great generosity with which the Quraysh treated them in the Hajj season. That is why the Quraysh felt no fear for that their caravans would be robbed or harmed anywhere on the way. The tribes on the way did not even charge them the heavy transit taxes that they demanded from the other caravans. Hashim, taking advantage of this, prepared the trade scheme and made his three brothers partner in it. Thus, Hashim obtained trade privileges from the Ghassanid king of Syria, Abdishams from the Nagas, Abdul Muttalib from the Yemenite noble, and Nawfal from the governments of Iraq and Iran, and their trade began to flourish. That is how the four brothers became famous as traders and began to be called Ashab al Ilaf, generators of love and affection, on account of their friendly relations with the tribes and states of the surrounding lands. Because of their business relations with Syria, Egypt, Iraq, Iran, Yemen, and Abyssinia, the Quraysh came across such opportunities, and their direct contact with the culture and civilization of different countries so enhanced the level of their knowledge and wisdom that no tribe in Arabia could match and equal them. As regard wealth and worldly goods, they became the most affluent tribe, and Mecca became the most important commercial center of Arabian Peninsula. Another great advantage that accrued from these international relations was that they brought from Iraq tile script, which later was used for writing down the Quran. No other Arabian tribe could boast of so many literate people as Quraysh. For these very reason, the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, Quraysh are the leaders of men. Musnad Ahmad, Marwiyat Amr bin al-As. And according to a tradition from Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala in Biheki, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, first the leadership of the Arabian was in the hand of the people of Himyar, then Allah withdrew it from them and gave it to Quraysh. The Quraysh were thus prospering and flourishing when the event of Abraha invasion of Mecca took place. Had Abraha at that time succeeded in taking this holy city and destroying the Kaaba, the glory and renown of not only the Quraysh but the Kaaba itself would have faded away. The belief of the pre Islamic Arabia that the house indeed was Allah's house would have been shattered, and the high esteem in which Quraysh were held for being keepers of the house throughout the country would have been tarnished. Then, after the Abyssinian advance to Mecca, the Byzantium also would have taken the initiative to gain control over the trade route between Syria and Mecca, and the Quraysh would have been reduced to a plight worse than in which they were involved before Qusay bin Kilab. But when Allah showed this manifestation of His power that the swarms of birds destroyed 60,000 Abyssinian troops brought by Abraha by pelting them with stones, and from Mecca to Yemen they went on falling and dying by the wayside. The faith of the Arabs that the Kaaba indeed was Allah's house increased manifold, and the glory and renown of Quraysh too was enhanced considerably throughout the country. Now the Arabs were convinced that they were under Allah's special favor. Therefore, they visited every part of Arabia fearlessly and passed through every land with their trade caravan unharmed. No one could dare touch them with the evil intention, not to speak of touching them, even if they had a non-Qurayshite under their protection. He too was allowed to pass unharmed.